Hello guys, this is me, Carrie Myers, coming from my countertop. Oh, you can see in my bathroom. I gotta shut that door. Sorry. This I haven't cleaned that bathroom yet. So here I am today, and today what we're gonna talk about from the countertop is just our time and using it wisely and what we're doing. Be careful how we're using our time. So I just got back from an island, and they say that it's island time, and really it is. It's a very laid back, but almost to the point this time where it kind of frustrated me. One, because we're trying to get this home that we have there that got hit by the hurricane, trying to get that up and running, and so it's just hard. If you can imagine how it is here when you're having contractors and stuff, having a deadline, well, in St. John Island time, that's even worse. So I'm learning a lot about myself in that. One is that I felt like when I was there, I kind of brought the American way there, like, come on, we're efficient. We need to get this done, do it right. You can be multitasking, doing a lot of things. And so I found myself just wanting to tell them how to do their job, and they weren't doing it right in my eyes. Like, you could be doing so many different things. But here is what the Lord is showing me. Now, there are things we need to be efficient at. There are verses that says to work with our hands and to be diligent. But there's also this verse, and so I want to read it to y'all. This is in Ephesians 5:15 through 17. Therefore, be careful how you walk, not as unwise men, but as wise, making the most of your time, because the days are evil. So then do not be foolish, but understand what the will of the Lord is. And so that phrase in there that says, making the most of your time. So I really started thinking about this because, you know what we have done? In our being efficient, we are able to browse and have 10 different pages up at one time. We can toggle through those like a boss. I know that's what I do. I'm searching up a bazillion different things at one time. The other thing is these apps that we have on our phone. We have so many apps and they give us notifications. And we have these Bluetooth headphones that we can talk hands-free and do all this other stuff that we're doing while we're going back and forth on our computers and getting notifications on our phone all at the same time. Deep breath. I know that's draining even talking about it, but it's true, and I have that. That's in my life right now. That is what's happening. And so this verse of make the most of your time has just really jumped out at me in the last week, and just realizing that I need to rest. I need to just stop and think about what are the most important things in our life. One of the translations says it this way: use every chance you have for doing good, because these are evil times. So when we think about that, of what is it that we can do that's doing good? And for me, I just needed to write down those things that are not high priority in my life. What are those apps that are not high priority? I don't need to get notification from the news app. I don't need to know about the weather all the time. There's several things that I just don't need to know about. I don't need to get my emails 50 bazillion times a day, because most of the time they're not important. If we can just set aside a time to check those, or even Facebook. I get Facebook notifications, and I treat it like my text. If I'm getting a message through Facebook, then I immediately respond. All of that takes over our brain, and I really don't think that our brains were meant to take all that on. We are filling our minds with so many different things, and when I say we, I mean me and us as a society, or just this generation, because we have so much at our disposal. So anyway, my encouragement today, and I'm not going to be on here long because this is stuff I'm still chewing on and I'm still grappling with. It's just to encourage you to think about what is it that God has called you to. So here's another verse I want you to look up. It's, let's see, hold on. John 17:4. And this is Jesus speaking. But this is what he says. I glorified thee on the earth, having accomplished the work which you have given me to do. So this is Jesus talking about the work that God has given him to do. We are a reflection of Christ. We also have work to do. Can we say that we've accomplished the work that he has given us to do? Have we accomplished it? So I just wanted to just let you in my little brain of kind of what I'm going through and what I'm processing, and then ask these questions. So what has God called you to? We each have a calling in our life. So what has he called you to? What is it that we each have gifts, and we each have different things that we are to accomplish here on earth. And so are we getting that done? Other question is, what's getting in the way of that calling? So it might be some apps you need to delete off your phone because you're getting all these notifications. It might be some computer time you need to get off the computer, or at least not have so many pages open at once like I do. And then just, are you learning to rest? I was reading this book, and I'm not great at like memorization, even scripture and what people say, so I hope I don't mess this up. But it was Rachel Hollis. It's called Wash Your Face. And she was talking about how her body started manifesting these things of distress in her life. So she got shingles and then vertigo, but she didn't know it was stress. So when she went to the doctor identified it after so many times of having bouts with this and running so many tests, realizing that it was stress that was causing all of these physical things in her life. And so the doctor said, okay, I do remember this. He told her to go home and watch 2 hours, to sit on the couch and watch like 2 hours of TV. And when she's done with that, turn around and do it for 2 more hours. Now, sometimes I don't have a problem doing that. But all the time when I'm sitting down to even just watch TV or just relax or read a book, I have the notifications coming on. I have, there's just different things in my mind that's going on. It's like in my brain, I have about 10 different pages going on at one time as I'm browsing in my head. And so just to be able to shut that down and to be able just to focus. So I really want to encourage you just to learn how to focus, me included, because I am on that journey of just resting and not feeling like we have to get things done and be so efficient and add all these different things to our plate. Okay, there goes the dogs. They bark at every little thing that walks by. Like, they're vicious. I mean, seriously. And I usually yell at them, but I don't want you to hear me in my yelling voice. But anyway. So anyhow, learning to rest, learning to take time, learning to focus, enjoy, not feeling like you have to add a bazillion different things, learning to say no. I've had to learn to say no to things, like thinking through this, making the most of my time. So if I were to add on that one thing that somebody asked me to do, or, a project, or even just good things, Bible studies, whatever, you really have to just think through, like, what is making the most of your time? And the only way you're going to be able to figure that out is figure out what your mission is. What is your calling? And then you align everything up with what that is. So again, I don't have the answer because I'm going through all of this myself, but I just want to encourage you in that. That's just time to exit out of some of those pages in our brain. Which ones are those for you? What pages do you need to just hit that little X, like X out of that? That's what I say. X out of it. So what are some things you need to X out of? And then just encourage you to think through making the most of your time, accomplishing the work that God has called you to. So that's just a little bit of tidbit today for encouragement, food for thought at the countertop. Kind of rhymed. So anyhow, hope that was encouraging. And again, I'll continue to come on Fridays. If you have anything that you want to share, please comment, or you can just message me I won't get it immediately because I'm taking off my notification. I will check it though periodically. So anyhow, hope that helps. Guys, I love y'all. I'm there with you going on this journey, and these are just little things that the Lord has given me. Hopefully it's been encouraging. So anyhow, I will be back next Friday live at the countertop. All right, see ya.